Morning. Good morning. My name is Murray Hebert from the CSIS Chair for Southeast Asian Studies. It's a delight to welcome all of you to our Banyan Tree Leadership Forum discussion with Minister Sun Chanthol of Cambodia. I think many of you know his bio from the invitation and probably have heard of him before, but he was named Minister of Commerce in Cambodia in September last year. Previously, he's had various posts in the government, including Vice Chair of the Council for the Development of Cambodia and also the Minister of Public Works and Transport. The minister brings a lot of private sector experience also, having worked for General Electric GE for 16 years. He's sort of a Washingtonian in some ways because he graduated from American University. He's also studied at the Wharton School and at Harvard. Minister Chanthol, do you want to sit because you're going to be using it, or do you want to come up here? Okay. Thank you.
Great. Good morning. First, let me express my appreciation to CSIS for inviting me to give a talk this morning. Also, to thanks all of you for being here this morning. Without you being here, I wouldn't be here. So appreciate very much you showing up. Let me take this opportunity to present to you Cambodia, the outlook Cambodia, and we'll walk you through as to the reason why the investor should look at Cambodia is a place to invest. So for those of you that never been to Cambodia, Cambodia is located in the heart, what I call the center of gravity for Southeast Asia. So you can see our country located so right there, where we are, and within an hour and a half flying time, you can reach over 600 million consumers. That is a glance of the population. Right now it's around 15 million. The land size, if you compare, if you put 181,035 square kilometers, you don't really see what is it. But if you compare, let's say, France, we're about 1/3 of France. Okay, if you talk about the size. The GDP per capita is over 1,000. The inflation rate is still less than 5%. And so for the first time, we have the country rating. So right now it's rated B2. Now, here the reason why you should consider is a place to do the investment. One in macroeconomic stability, of which I will go in more detail. The government of Cambodia is a pro-business government. Again, I'm going to talk. Here's all the reason. A pro-business government, competitive investment incentives, a one-stop service, access to the world market, investment protection, and so on. So let me go into more detail. In terms of macroeconomic stability, our GDP grew at average 8% for the last 10 years. That's probably the fastest in Southeast Asia. Our exchange rate has been stable, around 4,000 real to $1, which I'm going to show the chart. The inflation is low. Our debt to GDP ratio, it's very low. It's very low. It's the rule of thumb around 40%, but we only 32+%. The debt to GDP ratio. And if you compare this, debt to GDP ratio for a country in Europe, for example, Greece, 177%. I think Japan, probably 200%. US, close to 200%. So we still have room to borrow for investment into infrastructure, for example, productive investment rather than borrow for consumption. Our reserve over $3.6 billion. It took us almost 12 years to increase from 100 million to 1 billion, but took us only a few years to increase to that $3 billion. So very stable. This GDP growth, about 2009, we didn't grow because the world economic crisis, but we're still doing okay. But now, last year, 7.6, and we expect the GDP to grow 7.5, 7.6 the next 4 or 5 years. GDP, you can see nicely per capita. Currency been stable. Inflation is low. Foreign reserve is good. Trade with trade deficit, but it's not that significant. Budget deficit is also small. You can see around 6%. Now, we compare all the countries in the region. Cambodia, if we take out the 2008, 2009, we talk about the last 10 years, 9.8%. It's very, very fast growing economy. Pro-business government, this is important. We consider private sector as an engine of our economic growth. The accessibility to Cambodian government is very easy. I will give you my business card with my mobile number in there. You can call me, you can SMS me, you can email me, and I mean it. I mean it. But sometimes when you call from overseas, it doesn't show the number. It shows only 001. And sometimes I cannot answer the phone. Either I'm in a meeting, cabinet meeting, I can't answer the phone. I don't know who to call back because it shows 001. Please text me, Chanthol, please call me back. Then I definitely call you back, okay? Guarantee you. Now, we create 10 working groups that co-chair by the private sector. For example, technical working group on infrastructure. So when I was the Minister of Public Works and Transport, I co-chair that technical working group, where private sector is a co-chair, where technical working group on banking, on taxation, agriculture, tourism, export processing. So with 10 technical working group that meet on a monthly basis. So any issues that the private sector may have and want to resolve, they go resolve that technical working group. If the technical working group cannot resolve issues raised by a private sector, we will escalate this to what we call the Government Private Sector Forum. And this forum is chaired by our Prime Minister. We invite around 500 private sector in the room. We invite all the ambassadors, IMF, World Bank, ADB, NGO in that forum. The private sector can ask a question to the Prime Minister, raise the issue, and he can make the decision right there and then. So the minister got to be ready to answer the question to the Prime Minister, and he can make the decision. The decision made in that forum, it's considered the cabinet decision because all Cambodian cabinet sit in that forum. So very productive, efficient forum. Now, IFC of the World Bank helped organize the government private sector forum for 24 countries. They did a survey. Which country has the most productive, efficient government private sector forum? And I'm proud to say that Cambodia came first. It's the most productive, efficient private sector forum that can resolve the problem of the private sector. Our investment incentive, I would say that our investment law provide the most generous investment incentives corporate income tax, 20%. We have tax holiday up to 9 years. No discrimination between a foreign investor and a local investor. There's no alien business law in Cambodia. And every economic sector is open to investor. Tell me which country that allow a foreigner to own 100% banking license. Tell me which country that allow a foreigner to own 100% telecom sector, insurance, agricultural sector. So we are a small, open economy, no restriction, no price control, no exchange control. It's important that you can send the money to Cambodia. You can take the profit out. There's no issues. Try with other country. It's easy to send the money in. Take the money out can be difficult. But not in Cambodia. So there's no exchange control. And we open every sector of our economy. There's no requirement for you to take local partner. Doing 100% operation in a country. Labor force in a country, which I'm going to go later on, also is very young, dynamic labor force. The average age in Cambodia is 23.7. And you might ask me why your country's population is so young. It's so sad for me to remind you that the Khmer Rouge wiped out one generation of Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. So the very young workforce today. Well, it's not working anymore now. It's not moving. Right. Anyway, so the investment incentives, okay. Can you move to the next slide? Yeah, okay, can you move to the next slide, please? Okay. Also, we have another reason that we have one-stop service. The CDC, Council for the Development of Cambodia, just like Investment Board. And I also today serve as a Vice Chair. In addition to my position as a Minister of Commerce, I'm also the Vice Chair of the CDC. The Chairman of the CDC is our Prime Minister. So we have one-stop service. We provide you with information. We look at your application. We do the evaluation. We approve your investment. We help you with work permit, visa, company registration, duty exemption. It's all there, all done at the CDC. Access to the world market. We are a member of the WTO. We are a member of ASEAN. And product made in Cambodia, you can be shipped to European country without duty. So that's a very, very good for us. Very competitive advantage there because product made in Vietnam or Thailand have to pay tax when you ship to European country, not from Cambodia, not from Cambodia. And also we have GSP from the US, which give us a low custom duty rates also. We have MFN with all these countries. We have investment protection agreement with all these countries. All those, this bilateral investment protection agreement. Although we have not signed the bilateral investment treaty with the U.S., but our investment law protect the foreign investor. So we're looking to move forward with the bilateral investment treaty with the U.S. I had the opportunity to meet with Ambassador Michael Froman during my visit. So we talked about that we need to move forward with the bid in order to attract maybe more FDI from the U.S. because U.S. companies probably want to wait and see until we get the BIT before they invest in the country. But having said that, we have U.S. company always in there. General Electric have the office there. Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Google, Chevron, Caltech, and so on and so forth is there. But it's not enough. We like to attract more FDI from the U.S. Infrastructure, it's getting better. We build the ASEAN highway that connects Cambodia to Thailand, to Vietnam, Cambodia to Laos. We rehabilitate our railway that connects Phnom Penh to Ao Deep Seaport. We in the process of rehabilitating the railway to connect to State Railway of Thailand. So goods and services, goods and people can travel from Singapore to Malaysia, to Thailand, to Cambodia. That's the first phase. Second phase would be to build a spur from Cambodia to Vietnam. Then you can ship goods or people can travel from Singapore, Malaysia, to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, China, Kunming, and connect to Europe. That's part of what we call Singapore Kunming Railing Project. We upgrade our seaport in Sihanoukville, allow bigger ship to dock at our port. We build new container port in Phnom Penh. We upgrade our airport. So infrastructure is a lot better than before. We lay fiber optic across the country. Power plant being built. This, you can see the map of Cambodia and all the road. So we build a lot of road that connect to Vietnam. This side is Vietnam. Connect to Thailand and to Laos. You need to do the integration within the country and the integration with our neighboring country. The port, this is the international port. We also allow private sector to build a port on a BOT basis. This railway, mentioned that this the line that's already been rehabilitated from Phnom Penh to Ao Deep Seaport, Sihanoukville. We're going to move to rehabilitate this line to connect to Thailand. This missing link, 48 kilometers, was destroyed during the war, but now we almost complete that link. And then Thailand will complete their section also for 6 kilometers. Then all we can come all the way to Sihanoukville port. Then the future is to go through Siem Reap, this the home of Angkor Wat, the one of seven wonder of the world, and go along the river here, and this connect to Vietnam, and this connect to Laos. So that we have special economic zone. 33 has been approved, but 11 in operation. The special economic zone is good that they have water, supplies there, electricity is there, wastewater treatment plant is there. It's one location where where all the control has been done at that location. So it's easy for investors to put the factory there, and everything is there in one stop. The special economic zone mainly located along the Cambodian-Thai border, so that people take advantage of Cambodia's EBA from Europe, GSP. They put a factory near the border, so that the workers, the product can be shipped out back from Cambodia easily to Thailand and to Vietnam. I mentioned to you, within 1.5 hour flying time, over 600 million consumers that you can serve. We have sound financial, so we don't have a problem with economic crisis. 97, we didn't have a problem. 2008, the financial crisis, again, Cambodia didn't have any problem with bank sector. We have a lot of banks, 35 banks, everyone can get a license, 35 banks. But I think that sector will go through consolidation. I don't think that Cambodia can have 35 banks. The market price small. You can see some consolidation later on. Deposit, 7+ billion. The credit to private sector also about the same size. We have a stock exchange, but we have only one company listed on the stock exchange. To start with, last Monday, second company was listed. So we hope to list more and more company on our stock exchange. Resource, oil and gas, mineral, bauxite. So we had opportunity to meet with Chevron during my trip also. They have Block A in Cambodia. They do exploration there, and definitely the reserve there. We reserve there, so we're going to proceed with the discussion, negotiation with Chevron to conclude that project in order for us to do the extraction of our oil on the coast of Cambodia. Population, you can see, again, very young, extremely young population. Looks 65% between 15 and 64 years old. Very young, dynamic workforce. This investment trend. Approved by country. You can see US, very small, but we see China, Korea, EU, Malaysia, Vietnam, and other countries. So I hope, and we try to expand trade and investment, we hope that US company will invest more in Cambodia. Again, this investment by sector. I think we can, this you can download. I think CSIS can post it, and then they can, if everyone want this presentation can download. We didn't print the presentation, try to save a few trees from being cut to make paper. So investment opportunity, we have agricultural sector, labor-intensive industry. We try to move away from a labor-intensive industry to a semi-skill. So we talk about food processing, light manufacturing, transportation, ICT, energy, human resource development, that area that we like to attract FDI from, for. Again, back to the reason to invest in a country. Now, I'm telling you all the good reason, rosy picture about Cambodia. They said, it's impossible. It got to be something that, start working, Well, let's be honest. Corruption is one issue that exists in Cambodia, but corruption exists in other countries. The question, what are we doing about it? And are we doing something about it? Yes, we're doing something about it. Last 2 years ago, we passed the anti-corruption law in the country. We set up the anti-corruption unit to fight the corruption. The government official had to declare the asset, and when they take the possession, had to declare the asset again when they leave the possession. So, and then we put in an envelope to seal it. So the anti-corruption unit, the ACU, can open the envelope anytime. That, okay, we suspect that official is unusually rich. He can open and say, look, you declare you have 1 car, now you have 10 cars. We have the money to buy 10 cars, additional 9 cars. So this is the kind of thing that we are doing. Now, another reason, another thing that we do is that we try to automate a lot of manual process to automate that. For example, at my Ministry of Commerce, today you need the CO, certificate of origin, in order to export the product. You come to my ministry, give all the paper, so we key in all the information for you. So there's interface between the government official and the private sector. That you leave room for them to negotiate, leave room for them to ask for facilitate payment. So now I put that online. Hopefully by September, this system is going to be online. You don't have to come to the Ministry of Commerce. You can submit your application, the information online. You can print your own CO at wherever your factory located. We just review the information online, we release it. We just deduct the fees, the $30 or $38 fees from your bank's account, and there you go, you get your CO. Company registration. Today, I had to go to my ministry also to ask for the name. So look, I want to use this name, ABC Company. Then my staff will tell you, come back 2 days from now. We had to check for you. So you go away, you come back 2 days later, said, look, I want to use XYZ. The guy said, come back 2 days from now. Then, well, XYZ has been used already. Come back again. Oh, I want to use Donald Duck. Oh, okay, come back. Wow, Donald Duck's been used already, but if with the right price, I think I can tweak it. You know, this is the kind of thing that's happening. Again, I got to tell you reality, but I'm doing this online also. So we're going to put company registration online. So ABC computer comeback's been used, XYZ's been used, Donald Duck's been used. So you do it online. So once you cut down the interface between the private sector and a government official, you can cut down corruption. In addition to that, Cambodian government raised the salary of civil servant 25% every year. I bet you the private sector would love to get even 10% every year, right? We do 25% every year. Again, to give them additional salary, proper salary, so they don't resort to corruption. We also allowed to take some of the fees, for example, the certificate of origin, CO. We charge $38 to the private sectors. The finance ministry and the anti-corruption unit has agreement with the Ministry of Commerce that you can take probably 10%, keep 10% of that amount. And then you dole out as a reward for good work performance to your staff. So now we have all that money put in the pool, and we distribute that to our people. But we tell them, fine, you can get that money, additional bonus, but when you come to work, we have to scan. You got to scan your finger there, what time you come to work, what time you leave. You don't come to work, but at the end of the month, said, we have my bonus. Before, we don't have the system. So every we don't see them. They show up at the end of the month to collect the bonus. But not anymore now. I get a finger, you got to scan that. So that's the thing that we're doing to fight the corruption. Another thing, logistics costs in Cambodia is expensive. Although we do a lot of infrastructure, but still is a little more expensive in terms of logistic costs in Cambodia. The electricity also more expensive than Thailand, than Vietnam. But we're building power plant now. And the next few years when that come online, the price of our electricity will come down. Today we buy some from Vietnam, we buy some from Thailand, we buy electricity from Laos. But 5 years from now, we probably export our electricity back to Vietnam because the grid there already. Okay, so these are some of the issues that I'd like to be upfront with you. Minimum wage issues. A few months ago, you see a lot of demonstration for the worker, the factory, or the garment industry, textile, that asked to raise the minimum wage from $80 to $160 in one go. They want double overnight. And when the owner and the government did not agree to the demand, they do demonstrations, some violent doing demonstrations and so on. So now with the increase from 80 to 100, and we are working with ILO, International Labor Union Organization, work with the World Bank to sit down and do scientific calculation. What the number should be? Is it 160 or should be 200? Or should be 157, for example? Before we just plug the number of the air, 80 is good, 100 is good. But now we got to do properly, scientifically. Is it 180 or 160? And when we do this, we want to make sure that Cambodia is still competitive. You cannot price yourself out of the market. If you do say 160 or 200, then look, I'm going to go to Myanmar. They pay $57 a month. Okay? So this is the kind of thing that we need to look at both all angles in your world. We must look at the whole forest, not the tree. So that Cambodian government has been doing that right now, trying to resolve the labor issue, the minimum wage, and so on. So let me stop at this point and leave more time for you to ask questions. Is that okay? If you ask question, yeah.
Do you want to stand?
I can stand here actually. I can stand here. I have a more chart here, but I didn't put this talk about USA thing. But it's okay. You can get it later on. Yep.
Please identify yourself.
Hello. Hi, my name is Dr. Donna Wells. I'm an expert in the Russian language internet. Can you talk about popular internet access rates in Cambodia, as well as how the Cambodian government intends to approach issues pertaining to internet freedom? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our population is 15 million. As of 2013, we have 4 million internet users, and the year before, 2.7. So you see the growth rate, almost like 50% every year, the internet access. Okay, so it's important for our young population to have access to the internet, and we're in the process of drafting, finalizing e-commerce law. Okay, because we're going to move to the e-commerce, to the digital economy. So hopefully by September, we're going to submit the e-commerce law, e-signature, e-payment. So that will accelerate our population to really learn how to use the internet. We had a meeting with PayPal. You have internet, you have